All right, Shalom. I'm going to start out giving infinite honors, glory, and prayers to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles, elders, bishops, great millstone, rule well, teaches the truth 100%, no cut. Double shalom and salutation to Akim, pushing his word across the four winds in true faith and sincerity, giving all diligence. I want to just get into a quick lesson out of Warren Ratazalo, as well as edifying and to the point, just centered around, really, a true self-love, and what I mean by that is fearing the Lord, man, coming together, congregating, fellowshipping, with, men of like mind, the men that truly fear and serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Okay, in particular, the men of great millstone and those that follow the same doctrine, and teach the same doctrine in the true names of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, who the word calls God. His true name is Yahweh. His only begotten Son name, who the word calls Jesus. His true name is Yahweh Shah. All right, because it's a building environment, man. Edification means to build, goes into build, and to educate, man. All right, and that's all that goes on, man. We fellowship, we call one another, we discuss ideas, and plans to grow in the spirit, just all around the board, man. And it's a beautiful thing, man. That's love, man, to fear the Lord, and to surround yourself, with, like-minded, people, the brethren, that fear the Lord, man. Watching the videos, doing your videos, using the talent or talents that the Lord has given you to edify, and feed the Lord's sheep, the elect. It's a beautiful thing, man. And ultimately what it's doing, what the Lord is doing is reconstructing the house of David, man. And let's get into it. This is Sirach 6 and 32 through 37 of GNT. My child, you can learn if you want to. You can be clever if you are determined to be. If you are willing to listen, you will learn and become wise. Go where the old people are, our apostles, our elders, bishops, heads of camps, and so on and so forth, man. Men that's been laboring before you, man. Those conversations, those talks, those different testimonies and, humbling experiences and, faith boosters, the conversation, the teaching of the scriptures, the insight, man. All these different things, man, come from the men of the Lord, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. All right. You can, the older men in the truth, as well as, spiritually, as well as, you can learn from men that might not, that's younger in the faith. But older from their experiences, in life, man. That's the thing about, the true men of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Lord willing, we of that elect number, starting our apostle, elders, bishops on down, man. And we learn from everyone, from your different brothers' experiences in the truth, outside of the truth. Hey, it's all to build, man. And that's wisdom, man, taking it in. All right, it reads, it says, and it all promotes the fear of the Lord, man, because all conversations circle around, fearing the Lord, man. And it reads, it says, go where the old people are, find someone who is wise, and stay with him. And as someone who is wise is what? One that fears the Lord, man. All right. It says, stay with him. Be ready to listen when religious people speak. Let's get that word religious. All right, let's see. All right, not according to what the world. Let's see. And all it means is a devout, pious, and imbued with or expressive of religious devotion. Christian, Jews, pagans also belong to. The point is, devoted. We're devoted to what? And reverencing what? The Most High and His only begotten Son, not the gods, not no Greek or Roman mythology, but the God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which is Yahweh and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah. That's who we reverence. That's who we devote our life to, serving Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. So they're going into that, man, going back to the fear of the Lord. It says, Salakia, be ready to listen when religious people speak, those that fear the Lord, Salakia, and don't miss anything that shows insight, different experiences, in the truth, brothers, you're going over precepts, different experiences, testimonies, brothers and witness, brothers, discernment, spirits, all these things, man. It's all for edification, man. All right. Brothers' knowledge and the fear of the Lord, man. These scriptures, it says, if you find someone with understanding, get up early to call on him. Wear out his doorstep with your visits. Devote, see, going back to it, devote religious, see, boom. It says, devote all your time to studying the Lord's commandments and thinking about them. He will give you the insight and wisdom you are looking for, man. So fearing the Lord and surrounding yourself around like-minded men, okay, individuals, man, that serve Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which is the body of Great Millstone. And again, those that's not called a Great Millstone, but serve Yahweh Shem Yahushua in true faith and sincerity, teaching the same doctrine, okay, as our apostles and elders and bishops of Great Millstone, man. Okay. And the Lord, what? He's going to increase you in his knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All right. He's going to increase you. That's the thing about it. Being yoked up with like-minded individuals, man. And again, is establishing what? The house of David. All right. Because the world, the congregation of the world is the congregation of the dead, man. Because all they discuss is dead works. Works that don't add up to anything but destruction, chaos, despair. Okay. They don't discuss, 2/3 of our people and these heathens, they don't discuss the fear of the Lord, man. All right. They don't speak of prophecies, okay, or the wisdom that the scriptures promotes and brings forth, man. All right. They speak of their own bellies, what they feel and what they think in those moments, which are subject to change. Okay. But the Lord does not change, man. The words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua forever, man. Okay. And promotes life and good sense. Okay. Which starts from the root of wisdom is what? To fear of the Lord, to fear the Lord. All right. This is Sirach 9 and 15 through 16, the GNT. It reads, engage in conversations with intelligent people and let the law of the Most High be topic of your discussions. Choose righteous people for your dinner companions. Breaking bread, man. All right, we fellowship with one another, talk on the phone, we congregate. Hey, man, that's breaking bread. Righteously, though. Okay, in the spirit of the Lord, man. All right, it says, your chief pride should be your fear of the Lord, man. Fearing the Lord should be your chief pride, as we just read, man. All right, fearing the Lord, making sure you're obedient to the Lord to the best of your ability. You're working on yourself. Okay, you're growing in the fruits of the Spirit. You're helping other brothers grow in the fruits of the Spirit. You maintaining the order of things through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, you building and you moving forward, man. All right, the world does not do that, man. These people of the world, we see what they do. They crash out. Okay, they druggies, whores, and goddamn transformers, fairies and shit, man. No sense. All right. Nothing to be gained. All right. The congregation of the dead. This is Proverbs 19 and 8, the NLT, and it reads, to acquire wisdom is to love yourself. See, self-love. All right. Fearing the Lord is loving yourself, man. Okay. Surrounding yourself around men of the Lord is loving yourself, man. Because what the Lord say on the two greatest commandments, love the Lord with all thine heart and treat thy neighbor as thyself. All right. It says to acquire wisdom is to love yourself. People who cherish understanding will prosper, man, the fear of the Lord. Okay. Growing in the spirit, the fruits of the spirit, increasing in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and discernment. Okay. Proverbs 24 and 3 NLT. A house is built by wisdom. Seeing the Lord is what? Through the fear of the Lord is raising up his men. Okay. The elect, Lord willing, we're a part of that number, man. And what? That house that's being built. Okay, is what? The house of David. Okay, by Yahdawadah. Okay. The house of David is being built, man, by way of what? The Lord raising up his men, his elect, that fear him, that's calling upon the true names, that's teaching the true doctrine. Okay. That's moving in unison of the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It says a house is built by wisdom and becomes strong through good sense. And what's that good sense? Fearing the Lord. That sums it up. All right. And through fearing the Lord, what? You're going to be obedient. Okay. Well, let's get into it. Let's end it on these last few precepts because, again, 2/3 of our people are through. All right. They're not building anything. They're destroying themselves by what? Lack of knowledge, wisdom, understanding, which is what? Not fearing the Lord. This is Amos 9 and 9 through 12, the NLT. For I will give the command and will shake Israel along with the other nations, as grain is shaken in a sieve. Yet not one true kernel will be lost, but all the sinners will die by the sword. All those who say nothing bad will happen to us, man. That's the mindset of 2/3 of our people. Okay. But the Lord say what? He's gathering up his elect, man. Okay, spiritually right now, and it's gonna be physical when the Lord come back and send those angels, okay, to beam up the elect into the chariots, man. Okay. It says a promise of restoration. It says, in that day, I will restore the fallen house of David. See, through wisdom, through fear of the Lord. Those that truly fear the Lord, the house is being built, man. Okay, the house of David is being established again, man. It says right before these people's eyes, and they don't even know it. All right, the third temple, right before their eyes, and they don't even know it, man. Okay, it says, in that day I will restore the fallen house of David. I will repair its damaged walls. From the ruins I will rebuild it and restore its former glory. And Israel will possess what is left of Edom, and all the nations I have called to be mine. The Lord has spoken, and he will do these things, and that's a fact. That's what we're about to inherit, man, the nations, the planet, okay, immortality, all right, salvation, being joint heirs with Yahweh Shah, new bodies, all right, from what? Applying this wisdom, fearing the Lord. The root of it is the fear of the Lord, man. All right, and the Lord is going to deliver us out of this pending destruction that's coming to Babylon the Great, man. All right, but with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying and to the point. Hey, till next time, it's Shalom.